Here's part 2 of our lesson on 100 common idioms in English with meanings and examples. If you missed idioms 1 through 50, go back and listen to the previous episode. In this one, we'll cover idioms 51 through 100.
Hi, and welcome to the Espresso English podcast, where you can improve your English in just a few minutes a day. My name is Shayna, and I'm the teacher at Espresso English. Make sure to visit the website espressoenglish.net, where you can get online courses and ebooks that will help you learn English even faster. Let's get started with today's lesson.
Before I jump in, I wanted to remind you to sign up for my email list at espressoenglish.net/500 phrases. I'll put a link in the show notes. When you sign up, you'll get a free ebook with 500 English phrases to help you improve your speaking. You'll get an ebook and audio files. Okay, now let's learn idioms 51 through 100. Number 51, turn a blind eye. This means to ignore or pretend not to notice something. For example, the teacher turned a blind eye to the students whispering during the exam. Number 52, under the weather. This means feeling sick. For example, I won't be able to come to work today. I'm feeling under the weather. Number 53, off the hook. This means freed from an obligation. For example, I was going to give a class on Saturday, but they found another teacher to do it, so I'm off the hook. Number 54, up in the air. This means uncertain or not confirmed. For example, the date for the meeting is still up in the air. We need to schedule it. Number 55, when it rains, it pours. This means that bad things often happen in clusters or all at once. For example, first my car broke down, then I lost my wallet. When it rains, it pours. Number 56, wrap your head around something. This means to understand or comprehend something complex or difficult. For example, it took me a while to wrap my head around the new software, but now I understand how to use it. Number 57, throw someone for a loop. This means to distract, confuse, or surprise someone suddenly. For example, I think I answered all the questions in the job interview pretty well, except for the random one about my personal life. I wasn't expecting it, so it threw me for a loop. Number 58, at the drop of a hat. This means immediately or without hesitation. For example, he's always ready to help at the drop of a hat. Number 59, at the end of your rope. This means completely annoyed, exhausted, or desperate with no more patience or energy. For example, after dealing with 2 disobedient kids all day, I was at the end of my rope. Number 60, pipe down. This means be quiet. For example, hey kids, pipe down. This is a library and people are trying to study. Number 61, cross that bridge when you come to it. This means to deal with the problem or worry about something when it actually happens. For example, I'm not sure what to do if I fail the test, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Number 62, drop the ball. This means to make a mistake or fail to do something properly. For example, he dropped the ball by forgetting to send the important email on time. Number 63, the elephant in the room. This means an obvious problem or issue that no one wants to address. For example, we need to talk about the budget cuts. It's the elephant in the room. Number 64, get off on the wrong foot. This means to start a relationship or situation poorly or with a misunderstanding. For example, we got off on the wrong foot, but we can still work things out and improve our communication. Number 65, go down in flames. This means to fail spectacularly or experience a significant defeat or failure. For example, their new product launch went down in flames and they lost a lot of money. Number 66, go with the flow. This means to adapt to a situation or accept things as they come. For example, I don't have a specific plan for the weekend. I'll just go with the flow and see what happens. Number 67, hang in there. This means to persevere or keep going despite difficulties or challenges. For example, I know it's tough, but hang in there. Things will get better. Number 68, in hot water. This means in trouble or facing difficulties due to a mistake or wrongdoing. For example, He found himself in hot water after missing an important deadline. Number 69, jump on the bandwagon. This means to join or support something that is currently popular or successful. For example, everyone is using that new social media platform, so I decided to jump on the bandwagon. Number 70, kick the bucket. This means to die. It's a very informal expression. For example, I'd love to visit Jamaica someday before I kick the bucket. Number 71, swallow something hook, line, and sinker. This means to believe something completely, usually believe something that is not true. For example, when I got back late from the party, I told my mom I had been studying for a final exam at a friend's house. She swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. Number 72, show your true colors. This means reveal the true nature of your character. For example, when things get stressful, that's when people start to show their true colors. Number 73, on thin ice. This means in a dangerous situation. For example, he's on thin ice with his boss after making multiple mistakes. Number 74, play it by ear. This means to decide or act based on the situation as it develops rather than having a fixed plan. For example, we don't have a specific itinerary. We'll just play it by ear and see what we feel like doing. Number 75, save your breath. This means to stop wasting your time and effort saying things that won't have any effect. For example, trying to convince him to change his mind is pointless. Save your breath. Number 76, steal the show. This means to attract the most attention or praise. For example, her performance was incredible. She stole the show with her singing and dancing. Number 77, take it with a grain of salt. This means to receive or consider information with skepticism or doubt. For example, I heard a rumor, but I took it with a grain of salt until I had more information. Number 78, clear as mud. This describes information or communication that is not clear at all. For example, my friend tried to explain how to get to his house, but his directions were as clear as mud and we got lost. Number 79, jump the gun. This means to do something too early before the appropriate time. For example, she jumped the gun and announced the winner before the final results were officially declared. Number 80, get your wires crossed. This means to have a miscommunication. For example, we must have gotten our wires crossed. I wanted you to come at 7 p.m., not 7 a.m. Number 81, throw caution to the wind. This means to take a risk and act without considering the potential consequences. For example, despite her friend's warnings, she decided to throw caution to the wind and quit her job to pursue her passion. Number 82, lose your touch. This means to lose the skill or ability that you once had. For example, after years of not playing the piano, he realized he had lost his touch and struggled to play a simple melody. Number 83, off the chain. This refers to something that is exciting, exceptional, or out of control. For example, the concert last night was off the chain. The energy in the crowd was unbelievable. Number 84, eyeball it. This means to estimate or measure something by using your judgment or visual assessment. For example, we didn't have a ruler, so we had to eyeball the length of the table and hope it would fit in the room. Number 85, spice things up. This means to add excitement or variety to a situation or relationship. For example, let's try a new restaurant tonight to spice things up. Number 86, bring home the bacon. This means to earn a living or provide financial support for one's family. For example, she works 2 jobs to bring home the bacon and support her children. Number 87, nip something in the bud. This means to stop or prevent a problem or situation from developing further. For example, my 5-year-old started telling lies. We had to discipline her to nip that habit in the bud. Number 88, the last straw. This means the final event or action that makes a situation unbearable or prompts a strong reaction. For example, when he forgot their anniversary, it was the last straw for her and she decided to end the relationship. Number 89, a whole new ball game. This means a completely different situation or set of circumstances. For example, we had to change our lifestyle after we had kids. It was a whole new ball game. Number 90, burn the midnight oil. This means to work or study late into the night. For example, I'm exhausted because I was burning the midnight oil yesterday. Number 91, between a rock and a hard place. This means trapped in a difficult or impossible situation, having to choose between two unfavorable options. For example, she was between a rock and a hard place when both job offers required her to relocate. Number 92, play devil's advocate. This means to argue an opposing perspective in order to generate critical thinking or debate. For example, I know everyone's in favor of this plan, but let me play devil's advocate. What will we do if it all goes wrong? Number 93, put your foot in your mouth. This means to say something embarrassing, inappropriate, or offensive by accident. For example, I put my foot in my mouth when I asked her if she was pregnant, but she wasn't. Number 94, get a grip. This means to regain control over one's emotions or behavior. For example, he needs to get a grip and stop letting his anger affect his relationships. Number 95, a piece of work. This is used to describe someone who is difficult, eccentric, or challenging to deal with. For example, I love my cousin, but she's a real piece of work. She gets offended over the slightest things. Number 96, put someone on the spot. This means to ask someone a difficult question or request an immediate response, often in a public or challenging situation. For example, during the meeting, the boss put him on the spot by asking him to present his idea without any preparation. Number 97, a night owl. This means someone who likes to stay up late. For example, my son's a night owl. He never goes to bed before 2 a.m. Number 98, has seen better days. This is when something is old and in not so great condition. For example, I've had this car for over 15 years. It's seen better days. Number 99, get bent out of shape. This means to become angry, upset, or offended, especially about something which, in your opinion, doesn't justify such a reaction. For example, my roommate is a neat freak and he gets bent out of shape if I leave a single spoon on the kitchen counter. Number 100, play your cards right. This means to use your resources in a way that leads to success. For example, your supervisor really likes you. If you play your cards right, you could get promoted soon. I know we went through those 100 idioms really fast. I'll put a link in the show notes to the lesson text so that you can read them and review them. You'll learn lots more idioms and examples inside my Idioms course, which is an effective way to learn and practice common idiomatic expressions. The Idioms course is not just a list of idioms. Instead, each lesson helps you learn the expressions more actively. The lessons start by showing you examples of idioms in sentences, and you'll try to guess what they mean from the context. This is a really valuable skill to have. Then you can watch a video where I teach the idiom's meanings. Next, you can try a quiz to see how well you remember each idiom. And finally, there are short answer questions to help you practice using the idioms yourself. And you can get feedback and correction from an Espresso English teacher. Visit espressoenglish.net, click on Courses, and look for the Idioms course. I hope to see you inside.
If you want more great English lessons, visit espressoenglish.net, where you can sign up by email to receive a free ebook with 500 plus real English phrases. You'll also find online courses to help you improve your English fast, even if you don't have much time to study. Keep practicing your English, and I hope you have a wonderful day.